words long. I was the first person on the House floor the next morning, and I filed a repeal of Obamacare first thing the next day. Is win back the House of Representatives, that's another 40 seats, and win back the United States Senate, that's 10 more seats, and we can do this. This is very possible. I truly believe that you're going to pick up that seat in North Dakota. I believe you're going to do it. And I believe here in this district, your representative voted for cap and trade. Voted for cap and trade. Cap and trade is one of the worst bills you will ever see. It would have the federal government taking over 8% of the United States Congress, or of the United States economy with the energy industry. And forever and ever, we would be beholden to Uncle Sam. It would be potentially doubling your electric bills, your monthly bills here in Minnesota. That's what cap and trade will do. I believe we can win Jim Oberstar's seat this fall. I believe that 2 years from now we'll be able to take back Senate seats, but I think this year we can win 10 Senate seats. I think it is possible. Blanche Lincoln has gone down by 23 points in Arkansas. She is losing by 23 points to a brand new opponent, and I think we're going to win that seat there. I think down in Florida, I think Marco Rubio is going to win that Senate seat down in Florida. I think we're going to take the seat in New Hampshire. I think that in my very good friend Arlen Specter in Pennsylvania, I think he's going to be losing to Pat Toomey. We're going to put that together. If any of you know Tommy Thompson in Wisconsin, if he gets in that fight, you urge him to get in. If he gets in, Russ Feingold is gone. He is in. In California, which is deep blue as Minnesota is, Barbara Boxer is in trouble, and she should be. In the state of New York, Kirsten Gillibrand, I came into the House with Kirsten Gillibrand. I believe if we get the right candidate there, that we will pick up that seat in the state of New York. It is entirely possible that this year we will slam the brakes on socialism in Obama's administration. And as a thank you card for my work on the health care bill this week, Nancy Pelosi sent me a thank you card on Tuesday. And her thank you card was a 100,000 television ad buy against me in the state of Minnesota. And I am the first Republican that she is running ads on for the health care bill. The only one that she had mentioned that she was going to do it for. That's the kind of close relationship she and I share. Sarah Palin said, Michelle, I know you're under attack. What can I do? And I said, Governor, it would mean the world if you would come in and campaign for me. So Wednesday, April 7th, Governor Sarah Palin will be down in Minneapolis helping me to raise money for my campaign. We're going to have a private reception where you can meet and have photos with her and shake her hand and speak with her. We're going to have a dinner with Governor Palin, and then we're going to have a rally with about 10,000 people. Does that sound like fun? The rally would be free and open to the public, and we are honoring that request. All we are asking is that you are willing to volunteer 6 hours of time in 2 3-hour shifts. So we are asking you to volunteer. You don't have to volunteer for me. You can volunteer for another candidate. You can volunteer for your party. You just have to volunteer. How's that for a deal? The this year, and what we want to do by this event is to help you bring that energy and that excitement back to Fargo, Moorhead area, enlist more people, and I would say you are going to be so thrilled and so excited. Sean Hannity found out that Sarah Palin was coming. Sean called me and asked me if he could come and be at the event. It took me about a nanosecond. Of course you can come. And so Sean Hannity will also be at the event. You will love seeing Sean Hannity. If you come to the reception, I think you'll be able to take your picture with him, or if you come to the dinner. And also, he is going to shoot his television show live at our event. So it's going to be really exciting on April 7th. You won't want to miss it. So we're very thrilled about that. But it's all for a reason. Because everything's on the line right now. Because let me tell you how much our country has changed. From the inception of Bailout Nation, which unfortunately began under a Republican president with the $700 billion bailout for the banks, I voted no on that bill, and I pledged with my colleagues for 2 weeks, both Republican and Democrat, do not vote for this bill. This is a disaster in the making. Do not vote for this bill. But Hank Paulson, the Treasury Secretary, said, oh, if we don't vote for this bill, it is the end of the world. It's 1929 all over again. And I went to the microphone and I went through the whole litany of what the government had done up to that point. And I said, you know, look, we gave $29 billion to Bear Stearns. We gave $85 billion to AIG, the biggest insurance company in the United States. We gave so many billion to Freddie and Fannie. And I went through the litany of everything we've done. And I said, if we've done all that and it hasn't worked, then you explain to me, what's your evidence that $700 billion is going to pull us out of this mess? What's your evidence? He could give me nothing. And I went back to the microphone again, asked him a second time, couldn't give me anything. And then I chased him to the door before he left. And I said, I'm serious. I want to know, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? Then what? We have never in the history of the country given anyone a blank check for $700 billion. No constraints. No right of court review. A $700 billion check to one. I wouldn't trust myself with $700 billion with no constraint. And I still clip coupons when I go to Cub. I wouldn't trust anyone with that amount of money. He had absolutely no answer. Where did that $700 billion come from? They pulled it out of the air. From the inception of Bailout Nation in 2008, prior to that vote, 100% of the American economy was private. 100%. From the inception of Bailout Nation until Tuesday, when President Obama signed that bill, 51% of the private economy has been taken over by our government. That's absolutely verifiable. We now own the largest banks in the United States, Bank of America, Citibank. We now own AIG, the largest insurance company in the United States. We've poured $185 billion or so down that rat hole. We bought Fannie and Freddie, the secondary mortgage insurance company. The federal government now owns over 50% of all home mortgages in the United States. The federal government now owns. We own car companies. Did you ever think you'd live to see the day when the United States owns General Motors? Did you ever think you'd live to see the day when General Motors would drop off the Dow Stock Exchange because their stock is worth less than $1 a share? We now own Chrysler. The investors in Chrysler, the secured bondholders, had their property ripped away from them and given to an unsecured bondholder. And President Obama had the nerve to lecture the secured bondholder, those who had invested in Chrysler, and said, you're greedy for wanting to hold on to your property. We need to give it to an unsecured bondholder. We need to take it away from you to give to somebody else. Does that sound like Joe the plumber? Do you remember those days?